Hey y'all, it's Sarah, and today I'm making another bundt cake with my mini verse resins and my mini verse jello mold. This one is going to be similar to this, but we're going to use a little resin color in it, and I think I am making a strawberry one. And my first ingredient is going to be this, just household baking soda, and I'm going to measure my little mixing bowl here full. I'm going to stir it around a little bit, make sure there's no lumps, bumps, or clumps. That way the texture of my cake looks really nice. And this is the resin I'm going to be using, this really vibrant pink one. I think this was like the dragon fruit something. I'm going to use this one, and my bundt cake is going to be strawberry. I'm personally just going to be mixing in one of my balls here, the cap to it, and using a popsicle stick. See, look how pretty that color is. It's just, I can't think, other than desserts, I can't think of a lot of ways to use a color that vibrant. And I'm going to start mixing it in, and you notice it clumps up really quick. You have to keep smushing it in, and try to use some kind of utensil for this and not your fingers, or you can develop a reaction to resins over time after a lot of exposure. So use some gloves if you want to, but you've got to really smush it in. And we're going to start with small amounts of resin and work our way up until it gets into basically a clumpy dough ball. So I obviously have my resin mixed in there, and look at that pretty pink color. However, I want it to be moist enough that when I stir it around, it stirs into a ball, like a kind of a sticky dough ball, but not so moist that it's really saturated, or you won't get that matte finish. You'll get a shinier, more resin-like end result. In order to give a little bit more, I'm just going to add a clear water resin. So at this stage, you can kind of see what texture I'm talking about. This is my little ball, and now when I move it around, it pretty much just stays attached to itself this way. And this is what you're looking for consistency wise, so that you'll still get a hard material, but it won't be shiny like resin usually is. And we're going to be putting it in our bundt pan. AKA our jelly mold here. And kind of just smushing it in there. You want to smush it in really, really, really well so that your shape comes out really nice. And it looks like I might have extra, and that's fine with me. It really looks like ice cream at this stage. It probably looks like I'm playing with ice cream at this stage. So once I get it packed in super well, so I'm tapping it down in there. I want to make sure I don't have any spots. I don't have any bubble looking spots. Although this is not going to bubble like resin, since it does have some consistency. And while it's flat, I'm going to start scraping that excess off the top. So now that I've kind of leveled it off there, I've taken just a Q-tip dabbed in rubbing alcohol, and I'm cleaning the edges down really neat. We're just going to place it in our handy dandy oven and run it for a cycle. Okay, I think it should be ready to come out. So let's see how it pops out here. You can see it's already looking a little cakey, a little floury. So there's the little things that popped off the rest of my edges. And hopefully you'll be able to see the type of texture that has. I'm all ready to decorate, and I'm going to be using the sour cream. And I'm just going to take a little stick and try to scoop some out somewhere along the top here. And then you can see I have a lot of different fruits sitting around me. I've taken one of the strawberry slices and cut it in half, and I just used a small pair of scissors. And I think I may use one of the herb leaves there and some blueberry. I'm just going to throw a little bit of everything on this cake. And I'm trying to get that icing relatively thick and not too drippy, but I want it to be visible. And I want to be able to make all my little goodies stick. I think I definitely want to get some down the middle portion in there. And I also have one of the whipped creams that has the cherry on top. You could use a plain one, but I have a lot of the ones with the cherry on top, so I thought I would use one of those. Pretty happy with my icing. And let's see if I can get one of these little guys out. And I may need to just dip it down in this to get a decent amount of coverage to make sure it sticks. Let's talk about my frosted blueberries you see on my counter real quick. This is just a Dollar Tree Crafter Square white marker. This is what it says. It's not really metallic. It comes out pretty flat actually. And I just kind of drew in my fingers and rolled it around so it would get like this hazy look around it, like that. Take a little of the shine off, give it a little more depth and dimension, and this is why my hands always stay yuck. So just did that really quick, and now I want to pop in my strawberries. And I just cut it in half because I'm only going to use the halves. Let me try to pop it in. Once again, you might need to dip it, although I feel like there's quite a bit sitting on there. So I threw in a few of the little herb leaves from whatever kit that was from, a couple of my blueberries, and I'm going to run it through to harden my resin. So here is my final cake now that it's all hardened and everything's together, and you can see, maybe if I can get it to focus there. That's my final product, and let me take this off of here really quick and I'll show you some of the texture. Can you see? It really does look like cake texture. And there you go. That's all I wanted to share. I wanted to play with it a little more, and I figured I'd turn on the camera and play along with you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.